Now let's do some 2-minute drawings. Here's a quick time lapse of me trying to fill a page quick with some 2 minutes. They're built the same way. I'm looking at the spine connecting the main masses of the head, rib cage, and pelvis. Really trying to get the gesture down as much as possible, and then getting to a little bit of volume at the end if I have time. I'm using the Conte, the same as I did on the 1-minute drawings. I like this stuff. If you want to try it, it works best if you dull down the size a little bit and sort of make one end like a cone, like a little point. That way you can get more detail if you'd like. All right, let's get started. All right, so this is a demonstration for 2-minute figure drawings. So our priority is going to be action first, then a little bit of proportion we won't really have time to check too much, and maybe a little bit of volume if we have time. The order I tend to go with these quick drawings is start with the head because it's logical, we all tend to do it. The neck so we don't forget it. The spine, which ties the main masses together of the head, rib cage, and pelvis. Then down to the torso with the rib cage and the shoulder axis. Then down to the pelvis plus the axis of the pelvis. Then the weight-bearing leg. Then the other leg, and then lastly the arms. So, head, if the head's an egg, we get the spine going. The rib cage is going to be an egg about 1.5 times the size of the head. So if your head egg is 1, your rib cage will be 1.5, and then your pelvis again 1. Which brings you to near the center of the figure. So if you're doing a lot of these quick ones, if you can get used to this almost like a letter form, like capital letter, lowercase letter, 1, 1.5, 1, down to the weight-bearing leg. Look for the axis of the shoulders and the axis of the pelvis. Then, other leg, I broke my rule, went to the arm first. So there are good places to look for axis. Shoulders, pelvis, knees, and feet. Those are good places to look. On a regular drawing, I won't dig them in as hard. I just want to mark them out for you to show you where I'm looking for structure. I have a little time for volume. I'm using a piece of Conte, which is nice because I can put value down pretty quickly. All right, so let's do an honest 2-minute one now. 2 minutes off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good.
Good. All right, let's take a. Okay.
All right, and now I'm going to do a few 2-minute drawings in real time. So, waiting for the model to get the pose going. Starting light and loose. Egg for the head, looking for the neck and the spine. Really try to get the action down. That's the main thing. The real priority, looking for the axis of the shoulders there. And then the axis of the pelvis. Note the head 1 egg high, rib cage 1.5, pelvis again 1, going down to the legs a little bit to indicate where the weight is, and then back up to the arms, as the arms are a big part of this gesture. And I'm really staying light at the outset. That's really important. I don't want to dig in too hard, like bringing a ring to a first date, right? You don't want to commit right away that much. It's a little too much. I'm using the side of the Conte there to make some value. If you're not drawing with Conte, if you're drawing with a colored pencil or something, if you have a long tapered point, you can use the side of the point to make value a little more quickly like this on shorter drawings. Now I'm just starting to pick out some of the contours, and since I have some structure everywhere, those contour lines are a byproduct of the way that I'm understanding the volumes, which is really important. Starting to pick out a little bit more detail, going a little bit darker in the darks, looking for the shapes of the rib cage. See if I can get to a little bit of the face. I'm also moving around the drawing a lot. I'm not starting on one part, I'm not starting at her left eye, moving down the whole figure. I really want to build everything all at once. It's really like architecture. You really are building your drawings. So that first light drawing is almost like a first draft. And then as I get more confident about the structure, I'll go in a little bit darker. I'm using the side to set in a little bit of volume, the plane break. The plane break, again, is basically where a form goes from day to night. So I'm really just starting to set in the shadows a little bit everywhere I have them. Let's see if I give her feet or not. Oh, there we go, a little bit of feet. And on to the next one. So a 2-minute drawing, you're not going to have time for a finished drawing. Again, don't think of it like it's going to be a finished drawing or you'll be very frustrated. It really helps you make long lines, make big decisions quickly. You don't want to start with a writing grip. We have habits that carry over from writing, one of which is making a long line out of a lot of little lines. We tend to write with the same unit of line length, and that tends to carry over into drawing. So in other words, a lot of drawings look like a lot of little lowercase l's combined to make a longer line. So I'm trying to make as long a lines as I can at the outset because I really want to get the gesture down quickly. It's difficult to see the whole figure at once and what all the parts are doing. It's complicated. So this is how we're breaking it down to try to make it more easy and simple and straightforward. So I have a little bit down for everything. I've got her head, neck, the spine connecting the head, rib cage, and pelvis, her weight-bearing leg, and one of her arms. Her far arm is hidden from me. I can't see it, so I'm not worried about it. Now I'm starting to dig in a little bit more decisively, indicate the features. You notice on the first one I just basically have a brow line. I always want to indicate the direction of the head. Look for an axis. Here I just threw in a little bit of an indication for the eyes quickly. I'm working my way all around the drawing, starting to dig in the contour lines a little bit darker, especially in the darks. I don't want to have a hard dark contour line where she's brightly lit. Now picking out a few details here and there, but still being careful not to get caught in any one section. I'm not trying to give her fingers or anything on a 2-minute drawing. I just want to really indicate the large volumes and try and get them as first of all, the gesture down, and then secondly, if I notice anything about the proportion on this quick of a drawing, I'll try and fix it. But that's, again, why you want to start light. You notice I'm not just following the lines I had the first time. I'm correcting as I go along. Now it looks like I have time to maybe indicate the face a little bit. It's not going to be a beautifully rendered head or anything. And on to one more of these. So I tend to also keep the light direction the same on a page, which is, of course, easy if I'm doing 2-minute drawings because I don't have time to change the light or anything. But if you're doing a page that's filled with multiple drawings, it can be a good thing to keep the overall page unified, make them all look a little more coherent. So starting again, head, neck, thinking of the spine that ties the main masses of the head, rib cage, and pelvis together. Again, head 1 egg high, rib cage 1.5, pelvis 1, which would be near the middle of the figure. Now I'm just sort of trying to sort out where everything's facing. Looking at the direction of the rib cage, she's facing to the left, so I will kind of want to think that through. Now I'm starting to drop down to the legs and go back up to the head, and really trying to work the overall drawing the whole time. 2 minutes is not that much time, so you want to be moving around the whole drawing and not let yourself get caught on one little piece. It can start to break your drawing apart. So I'll dig in a couple of lines to indicate the arm, drop in a little bit of shadow to show the light, drop down to her leg. Again, the Conte is nice. You can use the side of it to make the value pretty quickly, especially because I only have 2 minutes on each of these drawings. So that is a useful tool. Back up to the head, try and indicate where the head's facing. And I'm out of time. So have fun with these, and I'll see you soon.